Every January, I get the same question from clients, friends, and people we've worked with over the years. Is now a smart time to make a move, or should we wait? And the honest answer as we start 2026 is this market is quieter, smarter, and more strategic than the last few years. Not chaotic, not crashing, just different. So today, I want to walk you through what we're actually seeing here in Mesa and Greater Phoenix using real situations from our clients, not headlines or guesses. One thing most people don't realize is that January quietly sets the tone for the entire year. In a typical market, January is when luxury homes and retirement style listings start hitting the market first. Then March is usually when the mainstream market really peaks. This year, new listings are only down about 2.5% from last January, which is actually stronger than what we've seen over the past 5 years. From 2020 through 2024, January listings counts were some of the weakest we've seen in decades. So while inventory isn't flooding the market, it's also not disappearing. And that's important because that's how balance starts. Here's something interesting we saw right after the holidays. We had a lot of buyers who paused towards the end of last year. Not because they were scared, life just got busy, holidays, travel, kids, work. But once the calendar flipped to January, many of those same buyers reached back out ready to move forward. A lot of them are coming from out of state. Others are growing families who simply need more space, and many are focusing on Mesa specifically for value, location, and for long-term livability. They're not rushing, but they are ready. You may hear a lot of talk about affordability, especially under $300,000. That segment is growing. Inventory is up and sales are rising too. But here's the key part people miss. It's not that homes don't exist, it's that people don't want to leave desirable areas. Someone paying $2,100 in rent in Scottsdale can't suddenly buy a single family home there for the same payment. But they can buy a similar condo, or they can buy a larger home in Mesa or an outer city and still stay within reach. So this isn't a shortage problem, it's a location preference problem. This is where things get really interesting. Over the past few months, several of our luxury listings, homes priced over $1 million, sat longer than sellers expected. And then they quietly went under contract. What that tells us is simple. Luxury buyers never left, they just became more selective. Move-in ready homes matter more than ever. Buyers are willing to pay for quality, but they're not paying a premium and taking on a project. When homes are priced correctly and fully dialed in, they're moving. The biggest mistake we're seeing right now is overpricing homes that aren't completely move-in ready. Buyers today compare everything, photos, condition, payment, location, all of it. And with interest rates still part of the conversation, buyers are very aware of monthly cost. They're not willing to overpay, then renovate. The sellers who are winning are the ones trusting professional pricing recommendations, not trying to test the market. One quiet signal we've seen over the past few months is investor activity. We've helped multiple investors step in and secure solid deals. And investors don't buy based on emotion. They buy when risk and reward make sense. When investors move quietly, it usually means the floor is forming. So what does this mean looking ahead over the next 60 to 120 days? We expect sales to increase, but prices to remain mostly flat. Lower price ranges are still adjusting. Middle ranges are steady. Upper ranges are holding strong. Mortgage payments are roughly 10 to 12% lower than this time last year on the same priced home. That doesn't mean prices are about to skyrocket. It means decisions are unfreezing. This is a market where clarity beats speed. This isn't a market for guessing, and it's not a market for waiting on a perfect moment. It's a market for informed, intentional moves. If you're on the fence, whether buying or selling, this is the moment to talk strategy, not timing. We're always happy to be a resource, even if the answer is not yet.